In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, this is your girl SC Bookout 843. And yes, I know it's not Tuesday night, but guess what? I got some authors that's wanting to talk to you guys, that's ready to show their book. So you need to go ahead, get your pen and get your paper for the special edition, a Thursday night edition of SC Book Gals and Friends Chat. So, y'all know me, right? Y'all know I love me a good urban street lit, find love, runaway, take you from your man type book. We got one of those tonight. Okay. I met this author through a friend of mine, Mrs. Brandy. Love the work that you do. Hats off to you, girlie. So I have a chance to interview this author. Look, y'all know I'm a fat girl. So he got books and barbecue. But we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But I would like to bring up author Alex Richardson. He is the author to Live and Die in the Shy, Book 3. Come on up, Mr. Alex.
Everyone.
How are you on this afternoon?
I'm doing fine. A little tired. Yeah, I have my hat in the ring of different streams, avenues of making money, so I'm a little tired, but I'm excited to be here.
That's what's up, and I understand. I totally understand. I went from work at the library to an outreach to mommy mode to now working on my interviews. You guys pay attention, and then taking this time out to talk to you. And I am so excited. So, before we go any further, tell us a little bit about you, Mr. Richardson.
My name is Alex Richardson. I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. I have a lot of roots in Chicago, a lot of family, and that's where 90% of my books are based in Chicago. Um, I enjoy writing. I started writing over 2 decades ago with my first book, Lines Crossed, the true story of an undercover cop. I used to be an undercover narcotics cop during the crack era. And that was back when Gary was the murder capital of the United States in the mid 90s. That was the first book, and I found out I love writing and reading, which brought me to my second book, which was The Corner, which was only supposed to have been a trilogy. I was seeing urban fiction boom in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. And so I said, okay, I saw a few books that was a trilogy. So I was going to write a trilogy. So after the first one, I wrote Lies, Lust, Consequences, an erotic novella. So I enjoyed writing that, and it showed the different side. And I found out I can write different genres. I have the gift of just thinking of things and writing them, being able to put it on paper. But then the corner hit. Book two. Uh, and a little story about just let every authors know not to give up. If anybody remember, do you remember Patrice Triple Crown?
Yes, I do remember Cripple Crown.
I was in Chicago for a book signing that they had, and I met the owner's cousin or best friend or whatever, and she was running it, and the author didn't show up, so they were pissed, and then we ended up going to a bar. Uh, it was on the south side, and I gave him a copy of The Corner, and she loved it, and she invited me down to Triple Crown, and just knew I was in to be signed. And I told her I eventually got a letter that was rejected, and she was shocked. So she gave me their cover designer. She gave me all types of things how to get the book published, and boom, and I published. started writing the corner series, and everybody loved it. It at first I had paperbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I was hitting the beauty salons in Chicago, all of them down. Anybody from Chicago knows Stony Island, Cottage Grove. I was just up and down 79th, and I'm selling all these books. And people ask me, "Are you on Kindle?" I always thought, "Ain't nobody black gonna read off a computer." Dumb me, because that's where everybody was making the money. And when I finally put them on, I had the corner two. I was writing the corner three. I had lies, less consequences, and I put them all on at the same time, and people starting to get to know me. Started to get to know me. They even made a book. They even made a group called the Corner Series,
Ah,
and it was supposed to stop at 3 books, and it ended up 26 books.
whoa.
And the thing about it is, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but who could write 26 books that would keep everyone captivated? And I wanted to stop, and it was the fans telling me not to stop. And the story, everyone, fans, and in that corner group, they said they felt like family. They knew all the characters. The characters felt like family who was in the one main crew, Slim's crew. And that's the book that put me on. That book got me to autographs. That book got me to St. Louis to what they used to have was the Pajama Jam, which was really a nice thing to go to. I met the Arthur Kwan. He was a featured author. I was a featured author. So it was really nice time. I got to meet people. And one thing about my books on the covers, I was able to I put people I knew on the covers, friends, guys I grew up with.
Ah,
Yeah, so the people on my covers, most of the covers, all the on the corners, those are people that I knew, and so that was a fun thing to do. Was that cover designer able to put them on the covers, and so the storyline was so great. But I had to have the book in. Everybody wanted me to continue. They still even asked me about it. And the one thing readers don't know is it's hard to get a book into a movie. And everyone always say, "Oh, it should be on Netflix. Oh, it should be on this." They People say, "Oh, it's better than The Wire." Oh, it's, and they go into, and that was the thing that a lot of people looked at it. They compared it to The Wire, and if anybody ever read it, it's really once I started looking at The Wire, I was like, oh yeah, I'd already started writing the corner series, and I was like, oh yeah, The Wire. Then I said, yeah, I can see it, and in ways it's better because you get into the characters, and they're almost like family. And I end up killing off someone, and oh man, I get inbox people hit me with messages. Why you get rid of that? Oh, and it's nice. It's nice to get that because that lets you know as an author that they really love the character. And I believe as an author, you should listen to the feedback you get from your readers. Now you can't do everything a reader wants you to do, but listening to their feedback will help you write your books. And like I say, so the series ended up being. Uh, I'm telling you, if anybody know anybody who think they would want a series, if that book was if made into a series, no one would be outside when it came on. It is that good. And sometimes
wow.
I say to myself, I'll always be chasing that because it was that good. And it went from about 2005 or 4 all the way, I'd say about 2005 all the way to about 2022. So you had guys riding around playing music from Biggie all the way to him playing the most recent music.
So
I had a fan message me, and him and his wife volunteered to send me things about clothes because he said, "Hey, nobody rocking Sean John anymore." He said, "Hey, so me and my wife, we we gonna help you out with the clothes. Here's some True
not the
Religion.
Sean
Here's
John.
this and that was a big help. That was a big help. So it's and I like so the readers getting involved is really what is who I write for
Okay.
because you don't make You don't make a, some authors do, but most authors don't make money that people think off the book. So if you're in it just to make money, the readers could tell. They
That
could
is
tell.
true. As a reader, I could tell when you're just in it to making money, when you're not taking time with your books. You bring in the characters that we saw got his head blown off, but then when you bring out book 10, that character's back. It's like you're not paying attention. So let me ask you a question. In the miracle years, how long have you been a writer?
I've been writing since well, I started writing the first book. Well, I might, let me be honest about it. I was undercover narcotics cop, and I took a bribe, so I ended up in federal prison. And so my wife sent me a letter of a crazy reason why she was divorcing me. And that day, after reading that letter, I had a yellow legal pad and I laid down in my bunk and I just started writing out, started writing. Then I would buy off commissary the tape for a typewriter, go over to the law library, start typing a book. And it was an older white guy who was in for, I can't remember what he's in for, but he was a professor. They wanted him to have a creative writing class.
Hmm.
And a guy who was friends with people in the mob from his hometown, he said, "Hey man, can they read it?" And they read it, and he said, and they read it, and they thought it was so authentic, which it was because I know both sides of the law. So he said, "I have this guy, the Italian guy who was in the mob." He said, "I got this guy. We got them to let him have a creative writing class. Let's let him read it." And that professor told me, he said, "You have the hard part now. Here's the easy part you got to work on." And from right there, I can sit down. I can sit down tonight and start a story and go. So I have penned 38 full length novels in 23 years.
Wow. 38 novels in 23 years. So I'm about to ask you a real difficult question.
Okay.
Which novel was your favorite and why?
Vanessa.
Okay. Um,
Uh, Vanessa was a suspense thriller. So some people didn't read it because it wasn't urban fiction. And the problem I had was I wrote some books in between the corner while I was writing the corner. And so when you have a fan base and it's urban fiction and they're stuck on this series and they're waiting on the next book, I was putting out like 3 books a year. So they're waiting on the book. When you come with something else and it's not that same genre, a lot of people don't read it. But the one who did, what it was a suspense thriller. It was about a lady who was killing these men. Pretty much, she'd sleep with them and she'd kill them, and when you read the reason why she killed him, you start sympathizing with her. In the
oh,
middle of the book, when you find out why she's making these killing in Chicago PD, and it's two detectives, Detective Jack Yancey, he's the one who's after her, and it's a prosecutor, of a lady prosecutor, who's also working the case. But it was easy for me to write because I lost my job as a detective taking a bribe. So, and I also had a young daughter. So I wrote him with him having a young daughter, and I just had where his wife left him, just left. She just didn't want to be a mother anymore. So he was taking care of his daughter and being a detective. So it wrote real well. I put places in the book like I lived in Maryland, in Annapolis, Maryland. So the detectives went back to Maryland. So I always pulled things. I was in the military. I was in special ops in the military. So I've been a lot of places. So I would pull those places into the book and keep it real because I'd actually been there. You an author also has to learn to remember how you can't have a character from New York talk the same way as a character from Chicago.
thank you.
And
Thank
and
you.
and a lot of people do that. You can't have a character from Memphis in California in LA talking like he's from LA. It just so I mean it happens like that, especially with urban fiction with a lot of people writing urban fiction. But if you really want it authentic, you'll write it. There's another thing in the corner series, Miss Joplin. who was like, she was an older lady and she used to cook for a lot of the crew. Well, just some of the things I put in there, or restaurants in Chicago, people, it was so real. People would go to those restaurants. I had a lady from Buffalo, New York, order Garrett's popcorn because I had one of the guys in Slim's crew and a girl and his girlfriend. They were at Navy Pier, not Navy Pier, but they were at Garrett's popcorn, and they was getting Garrett popcorn. I just mentioned how, how that was Oprah. He told her how that was Oprah Winfrey's favorite popcorn and this and that and all of that. And that lady went online, ordered some, and said her and her husband was ordering another batch, that it was actually that good. And so I would incorporate a lot of things, restaurants and things of that nature. And people would go to those places and try it out because the way I described it, and how, like some restaurants, how romantic, how the guy and the girl was, and he may have been from the hood, a drug dealer, but they were really nice dudes, good dudes. And so people would like to try those places just because of the way I describe things.
Well, that is true because I have read authors that are from here, from my home state of South Carolina. And then I did read this author named Latren. And she is like around the way, like literally around my area.
Hmm.
And to read her book, it was awesome to be like, Acme, I remember that club when I was little, sneaking in there. Visions, oh, I remember that club. Oh, I remember that hangout spot. It made the book more relatable and actually made me like an extra in a scene of the book because I could
Yeah.
see the things that she was speaking about. So I do love that authors pay attention and sometimes even show homage to where they are or where they're from. I really do love that. That shows that you love your city, you know? I would like to know, what is the craziest thing that you have ever heard, read from one of your readers?
Okay. Say that again.
What is the craziest thing you've ever heard or read from one of your readers in relation to your books or killing a character or, oh, I didn't like this
Um,
character?
I, I guess one of the things that stick out may not be exactly what you're asking, but a
Mhm.
review someone left.
Okay.
She gave me a 1-star review. I had like
Ooh.
70 some 5-star reviews. She gave me a 1-star review because she didn't like who I killed off in the book, and she didn't like who someone was dating. And that's when I learned about the reviews, that the author has to remember that a person really don't know, may not know how to give a review. Uh,
Right.
I've had readers say they don't read the books. I mean, they don't read reviews, especially if they know that author, because sometimes some people tell what happened in the book, especially if it's a series. And then, one lady found out, oh well, hell, now I know such and such died. It
I
so
hate that. Oh,
that was really it. I've Like I say, I've really had nothing but positive reviews, and most of it. And I know this is about To Live and Die in the Shy, but what happened was the Corner series was so long and so many books that that was a time when a lot of book signings were going on, book release parties,
mhm.
whereas that has kind of faded away a little bit, which I wish it would come back. And so To Live and Die in the Shy, which was after The Family, which was a trilogy, which was really good. To Live and Die in the Shy, I may have people that I just totally interact with, that I met through the books. They may mention something like when I put up that I was doing this interview. A lady said, "Finally, installment number 3. I've been waiting on it." And so uh, it's really um, and I tried not to make To Live and Die in the Shy like The Corner, I'm not gonna say not
Mm-hmm.
like the corner because it's still urban fiction. It's still in the hood in the streets. But I will say this about my writing: what I didn't want to do was make urban fiction my books like all urban fictions. I wanted to be good storyline. I wanted it some romance, and I wanted it to be a good realistic read. You know, not this guy went in the police station and shot up the police station. And then when got home and smoked you ain't making it home, and you're not running the police station shooting up the whole 77 precinct in Chicago area, Austin District Police Station. You're not doing it, and that's just an example. I try to keep things realistic. You're not gonna die in book three, and here you are back in book six. So I try to keep it realistic. I try to keep it a storyline, and I also kind of write like a movie.
Mm.
And so to keep people really into it, uh, I try to keep it, and I try to make the characters interesting. Where I've had characters when women say, "Oh, that's my husband," "Oh, I love him," or and things like that. So I try to keep it like that. And I had characters that people really love. And to die in the shy, there are two twins. They're the daughters of Rico, who's the head of the drug. He sells drugs, and he has two twin daughters,
Okay.
Jackie and JoJo. Jackie is more like him, and JoJo is more like her mother, Charlene. Jackie wants to be a hustler, and what's good about it, the book has everybody. It's a big deal about Rico. Then Charlene, who's the model wife, she could be a wife for an everyday steel worker. That's how good of a woman she is. Yeah, she's benefited off of his money, but she's tired. But Rico, he loved the women, and the lifestyle really doesn't appeal to her, you know, because
So let's
she's
talk about.
met one of his workers, uh,
Okay,
Roman,
that's the plot twist.
and Roman, they fall for each other,
Uh,
and so Jackie kind of sees it, but then something happens where that's not happening. Okay, that's not happening. But Rico has a friend, Antoine, and Antoine is planning his way out the game because they're older. They're in their late 40s, and and his wife is 35. Rico's wife is 35, Charlene, and Roman's like 29, 30, and they start their affair. And I don't want to give too much away, so some I won't say, but it's it's a thing of I try to keep more than one character with a storyline that people want to see what's happening. People want to see what's happening with Rico, but people like the affair that Charlene is having with Roman.
so let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to my fun questions that I was telling you about. So we have
Okay.
Rico, Kingpin dad, husband, love the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to look at, uh, I don't know much about sports, so let's not do sports. If we were to do an actor, who would play the part of Rico in your movie To Live and Die in the Shy?
I never looked at uh the movie The Shy
Mm-hmm.
until I was halfway done with book two of Live and Die in the Shy.
Okay.
And whoever that guy was, I can't even think of his name. The older guy.
I've never see y'all gonna take my card. I've never seen The Shy. I've
Yeah.
never
See, I
seen
hadn't
The
I hadn't
Quiet.
seen it, but and if anybody look at the cover, he he kind of look like him, and so um it would be him. What was crazy, jumping back to the corner series, like another reader, they made a list. They were on Facebook and they always chiming in a list of what actors would play each character. you know,
Oh,
and
so
so that was a cool thing to do. Here in the shy, um, see a lot of actors and actresses. I don't really know their names. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember their names, but
you have you have someone in the audience that is saying Mike Vick or Duba. I tell you the truth, I really don't know.
you,
I'm a
you,
big hood
that's
fiction.
amazing that they said Mike Vick because I just saw a thing and he's older. And when I saw him
Mike Vick.
uh, about a week ago on television, he's older, so he would play it. He would look like a good dark skinned character. Just his features, he
Mm-hmm.
looked like a guy from the hood who nice looking and got money. You
Sure
know, that's just
does.
Mike Vick's features.
I'm looking
That
at
that
a
was a,
picture
that was a
right
good one
here.
by that person. That was a good one.
I'm looking at this picture and he surely is cute.
Yeah, yeah, just his features. That Mike Vick, he would, yeah, he would fit him real well.
So, wife Jackie, stay down for a woman, 9 times 10, tired of the cheating.
Oh,
But
that's Charlene.
Charlene, okay,
Yes.
who, if there was a female musician, who would play her? Any musical artist?
Mm. Because of her
Um,
skin tone, first I was gonna say Kelly Rowan, but Charlene's a little bit more reserved.
okay.
Um,
Reserve.
uh,
Hmm. Reserve woman? No. I was gonna say no. Lisa Ray Hurd. No, she wasn't
no,
good.
no,
No,
not even
no.
close.
Because now that I know her as seeing her and following her, I don't. Who would the woman be? Trees? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is gonna take you back to the 80s. What's the lady that sang "I Love Your Smile"? That's who I see. I
Yeah,
cannot.
if we go back, if you want to take it back, um, because when you talk about the '80s, I'm a big '80s, I'm a big '90s look of women.
Okay, so we talk about the 90s. Uh,
Uh, and I tell you, I get a brain cramp for names, but uh, the one who played in Love and Basketball,
Shania Lathan.
Nia Lathan. Oh, I love her.
Okay.
And speaking of that, one of my favorite movies, and my ex-wife and I went and saw that a few times. Love Jones, and that's my book. A Love Thing
Ooh,
is kind of similar to Love Jones. So that's why I say I can write genres. A Love Thing is set in Chicago. Three friends, a lady and two guys in their late 20s,
mhm.
and they had been friends since kids, and it's pretty much it would put you in the mindset of Love Jones. It's not the same, but it would put you in the mindset just because of the way those friends were in Love Jones. Because I love the movie so much, I had started writing the book in 2012, and then I just published it 2 years ago. You
Ooh,
know,
so
because I
that's
just
one of them
and it's
sitting ones.
that one's in paperback. It's an ebook, but it's also in paperback, and that's one of my that's one of my favorites. Because the other books are series, so I can't
Hmm.
just pull one book out of the series. But I love it's still Vanessa, and when you finish reading Vanessa, no one will guess the ending. And when they finish reading
Okay.
it, they would see why it's titled Vanessa. No one ever guessed the ending. No one that
Well, you
that that I know. And but I love a love thing because it was something I worked on for years. You know, just a little bit here, a little bit there in between the books that I wrote.
you have someone that says Alicia Keys. Mm.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see it with you.
And I tell you, and see, I'm bad with the actresses and actors' names, but I like Paula Patton. But I looked at this Christmas movie, and I didn't even know who this chick was, Christine Milan or whatever.
Oh, Christine, isn't that Nick Cannon's ex?
Yeah,
Nick
because
Cannon. Yeah.
when they said Nick Cannon, she had a baby by Nick Cannon, I was like, what you doing? What was you doing having a baby by Nick Cannon? What's wrong with you? Knowing he got all them kids. But yeah, so but I'm actually a dreamer, a thinker. I see things. I love Christmas. I love romance. I love I'm the type of person, like, even at work, I'll ask people if I see a couple, especially if I see a mixed couple. I don't get into who met who, how they met, whatever, and this and that. I mean, not how they met, about I don't get into the race thing. My thing is, since I write, is I wonder how they met. What brought two opposites together. Whether the woman was black and the guy was white, or vice versa, whatever. I want to know that. That way, that helps with my writing.
Yes. Okay, somebody found it. Yes. Shanice, I love your smile. I'm sorry. I love that song. So we are winding down. But my last thing to you, I would like to ask is, well, two things. So the first thing is, what would you like to say to your old readers, new readers, and those that are watching this interview?
Old readers, just uh bear with me. It's not like before when I was pumping out the corner series. That was easy for me to pump out because the characters I knew like the back of my hand. After writing 6, 7 books about them, and they were like a family, it just clicked. I mean, I could sit down at night and I could write 5,000 pages like it was, I mean, 5,000 words like it was nothing. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, new readers, if you read it, don't be intimidated if you see a series as long. Because if you're a reader, once you start reading it, because I used to have people when the book dropped, it would drop on Amazon like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'm at work, and I'll have people message that they're mad because it's 4 in the morning. They're done. I had a lady worked in the office, lived in New Jersey. She told me that they was wondering what was she doing because she kept going in the bathroom, taking breaks, reading. So the book is that good to where even though it's a long series, it's that good, and some of it might start, it starts back in the day because it lasted that long, but it's that good. And just everybody know that I like to write for the reader. If I think something is stupid or the reader is not going to be like, what the hell is this? Now some stuff I will not take out just because, I mean, it's true. It's that's the way it goes. But I'm not going to put anything stupid, crazy, or anything in there that didn't really happen. I've seen, of course, I know I know some romance, but I've seen the law side of things, and I grew up. Like I say, Gary was the murder capital, and I grew up where you didn't leave the house without your gun, and a lot of people I knew were drug dealers. So I knew it also. I'm not going to put fake stuff in there. I've even call back and say, hey, remember when this happened? Or what did you do with this and this and that? And they know I'm writing books, fiction books, and so they'll make sure I got stuff straight. So
Now that is what's up. So we can be one of those readers or one of those followers that is up to date on everything you do. How about you give us the rundown? And the rundown is how we can follow you on social media, where we can purchase your books, just every way to follow you as an author.
Facebook page, Alex Richardson Books. I'm Alex Arthur Alex Richardson on Instagram. Of course, all my books are on Amazon, and I have to do better as an author. If people want to, we get this book thing going back to where it was, about a decade ago. I'll hang in there. Book clubs. I love to go into book clubs. If I can make it, if it's not too far, Or I did a Zoom call last year with a book club where all the ladies were in the military, and so it was a Zoom call, and they were in different states. So I'll do Zoom calls. I like interacting. I like questions. Even now, I could keep talking now. That's how much I enjoy it, and I
Well,
enjoy I enjoy the fans.
don't wait on nobody to do that. You go ahead and do that. You put out that you're going to be featuring this book, put that Zoom link, and you have those people come to you. You go ahead and lead the
And you're
charge.
right. I actually did that before. I did that before, and this was even before Zoom. I don't know what I was on. I was just on Facebook Live, and people were asking questions, and I mean, it was like it was nice. It was nice.
There you go. So you lead the charge. I'll be looking out for you. I'm gonna look out for
Okay.
you. So you see it. I'm gonna stop you like I read the book, but tell me some more.
Okay.
But I thank you for being with me tonight. And you guys, just look at the bottom of your screen. You see all of this information. Remember that you can go back on YouTube tonight, look at the replay, and on top of that, tomorrow, once my producer get finished, and y'all give her some time, we'll be on all the other platforms where you can do it. Okay. So, Mr. Richardson, I would thank you for being with me tonight. And
Hey,
TikTok. Oh, we on TikTok? Let me find out.
no,
Okay, TikTok.
thank you for having me.
Oh,
Anytime.
you know it. Well, okay. So I'm gonna take you up on that offer. We're gonna choose one of your books, and it's gonna be later on in the year. I'm gonna
Okay.
read the book, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna chit chat. How
Okay.
you like?
Yep. And here's a suggestion. Since the other ones are series, either Vanessa or A Love Thing. But Vanessa made great conversations. I had
Okay.
great conversations with book clubs with the Vanessa.
So we gonna hook up. We're gonna make a date, and we're gonna do that. How about that?
We can do that.
All right.
I'm
Well,
even
thank you.
willing. We get people in there, and I'm even willing to give away some signed autograph copies.
Look at this. Y'all heard it here. So we're gonna make it happen. So y'all look, because the authors I got lined up, y'all, they are fire. So give me till about October, November, we could start doing some of this, you guys, okay? So Mr. Richardson, I thank you again. And audience, I thank you for being here with me on this special Thursday night edition of SC Book Gal and Friends Chat. Always remember, there's no such thing as an old book because not everybody has read every book. Good night, everyone.
All right. Bye
Bye.
bye. Good night.
Good
And thank you.
night. Another book. Another book. Another book.